Hello everybody, I'm Emma Hermacinski, a class of 2017 Caroline D. Bradley Scholar alumna, and a Yunasa camper for 8 years. When I was 10 years old, skipping into the doors of the conference center at Camp Cope Niconic, where Yunasa East was held at the time, I did not understand how IEA would change my life. To my peers in school, things like learning indigenous customs and practicing psychosynthesis every day for a week probably sounded a bit odd, but to me, the things we did at Yunasa helped make it a second home, a magical community full of people just like me. Within my first year at camp, I emerged from Yunasa with at least half a dozen amazing new friends, and I felt supported by adults who understood me in a way I hadn't much felt existed before. I feel that generally, most people don't have a single poignant moment when their entire life changes dramatically. But that moment, for me, came after my 4th summer at Yunasa, where I received a phone call from Bonnie Raskin in my school principal's office, and screaming at the top of my lungs in joy, I realized I had won the Caroline D. Bradley Scholarship. A year later, I was starting high school at Choate Rosemary Hall, a boarding school in Connecticut that fulfilled me academically and socially in ways that my local high school options just couldn't. Moving off to a school 1,000 miles away was absolutely the right choice, but for both me and my family, it wasn't necessarily an easy one. Thanks to the help of Bonnie and IEA staff, I was able not only to find the right school out of dozens of potential options, but have constant support in every step of the process. Much like the amazing campers that attend Yunasa, the Caroline D. Bradley Scholar community is nothing short of wonderful. When I was touring boarding schools at age 13, I met or conversed with over 10 CDB scholars that gave me advice, information, and pep talks regarding both the high schools they attended and life as a CDB. Thinking back on my experiences with the IEA, I sense an enduring theme of gratitude. When I was contemplating going overseas for university, a choice I ultimately didn't make, I talked with a CDB alumnus who was well out of college. But the infinitely valuable advice he gave me came from a place of shared gratitude about how this organization had impacted both of us so profoundly. Even though I'm entering my 2nd year of college, I still regularly reflect on how IEA changed the course of my life. When I was 10 years old, bouncing into Yunasa for the first time, my family knew well that as a child regularly immersed in her own brain, thinking about others wasn't necessarily my strong suit. Now, at age 19, after years of finding amazing friends and a true family with the IEA community, and working on myself a little bit, I can say now that I can truly appreciate how I am astounded by this organization's impact. I've told you my story for a few minutes, but my reflection upon completing it is the magnitude of what IEA does. I've lived almost 2 decades of conscious, vibrant life, filled with hundreds of stories I could tell, specifically about this organization, and thousands generally. Stories that would never be realized in a timeline where I didn't find IEA. But despite what 10-year-old me may have thought, IEA isn't just about me sitting right here. This organization has changed the lives of thousands of gifted kids over 25 years, and it will continue to do so. And that to me is truly amazing, and something to be incredibly thankful for. So as always, thank you, and happy 25th anniversary, IEA.